All right, guys. Okay, welcome in. Now, this is yet another occasional live training that I'm doing for my community. And this is purely for those who are in my mailing list. It's really like something that I wanted to help the community move forward, just to share with you specific topics from time to time that I believe that is quite important for all of you to understand, especially if you want to move forward in your digital marketing game. All right, so we can see quite a number of you here. We have Benny. What's up, Benny? And we have Stanley here. We have Kelvin. We have Mikhail, right? I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Sorry if I don't. And we have Paul and Benny. All right. I mean, small group, doesn't matter, right? The whole idea here is we just want to really like spend time together, learn some useful things. And today, the topic is really about something that I'm really passionate about lately, which is about YouTube marketing. Now, before we go into that, how many of you own a YouTube channel? Type of one for me. If you own a YouTube channel, type of one for me. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know as well, type of one. And the next question that I have here is, how many of you are seeing good traction, as in like you're getting good results from your YouTube channel? You see, this is really something that is quite important. Like we have Kelvin having one here, having a YouTube channel. And I know Benny has one. Benny has a very interesting YouTube channel. And then I do believe a few of you actually owns a YouTube channel. Okay, so today the topic really is about how can we really build something using YouTube channel. Okay, and how can we actually really like gain some traction, not just gaining some traction, but knowing how to systematically build a traffic and revenue machine. That's what we really want to achieve. And I'm going to share with you from my experience building not one, but two YouTube channel. Okay, really from scratch, and the comparison of both what have I achieved throughout the years and how can we actually do it in a very systematic way. Now we have Kelvin here saying that there is no traction. You just use it to host your videos. I mean, that's what I've been using. That's what I've been doing since many years back. Because prior to that, I was using YouTube even as my course hosting platform. That's what I've been actually using. And in fact, prior to that, I was using to host my video, like promotional videos that I did something around that, and kind of similar way, right, that we are using it. But eventually, because I had to do that, it was really in 2020, July, in fact, mid 2020, when the pandemic hit my business, I was really looking for a better way to build traffic source really to my business and looking at different way to do it. And eventually, that's how I stumbled upon YouTube. As really, that was the time that I started building it consciously, learning from the experts. But of course, eventually I wanted to talk about those learning that I had, in 2020 when I first started my YouTube channel. In fact, a lot of method that was working in, like certain things, because I was actually learning from one of the coach from Australia, if I'm not mistaken. And I was also following some coaches in US. What I realized is, in fact, sometimes what worked there may not work in our part of the world because of the user behavior in our part of the world is quite different. That's why over the years, I have experimented a lot of different methods and sort of developed a framework. Okay, in fact, a framework that is proven not just one, on two YouTube channels that I own, and it's really something quite interesting. That's why I'm very excited to come over and share with you guys what I've learned. Okay, and yeah, I mean, Benny was saying no money, no honey. No money, no honey in YouTube in your experience, but you believe you can change the game. I think what you are referring to is you're actually using the YouTube advertising. But what I'm actually going to share with you is how to use YouTube as a powerful SEO, traffic and revenue source. That is really, I spent no money, in fact, at the very beginning stage. In fact, for the past 2 years, I did spend on YouTube advertising a little bit, but as far as I can recall, I think I spent less than, I think I spent more than $100 in terms of US dollar, definitely less than $200 in the past 2 years combined. Okay, and I'm going to share with you how to do that without spending much money. All right, and Kelvin was saying also good source of link juice for website, you guess. Yes, you're right. But then again, if you don't do it strategically, then of course you're hoping for things to happen, right? But then again, that's not what we want to do. We want to strategically build this, and I'm going to share with you on that. Okay, now let's bring it in. Now, guys, as we are doing this, right, feel free to pop your questions as we are moving along. Remember, this is a very kind of like loosen up kind of sharing. Okay, it's not really like a very classroom kind of training, but what I really hope to bring to the table here is really some useful sharing from what I've learned in the past. Okay, I'll be looking at your comment as we move along. Oh, Jeremy is here. What's up? Okay, now these are all old friends. Okay, like I said, this is really a very special program for my community, and I will be doing this more often though, from time to time. I mean, what I'm hoping to do here is at least I would actually do one every 1 or 2 months. Okay, really to share something very useful. Like the next program that I probably would do is really about maybe podcasting. That's something that I've been doing very actively lately, and I'm seeing some very interesting traction from that. And you know, I want to share about that. And future topics that I will be covering also include, like for example, Web3 marketing and community building and stuff like that, which I believe are essential when it comes to the future of marketing. You know, like take note that I did not say digital marketing, because moving forward, in my opinion, marketing in Web3 is really where marketing, offline marketing and digital marketing really converge. Marketing will become one again, because it's no longer a so-called important to understand whether it's really a digital marketing or conventional marketing, because it's part of life now. And in order to do that, it's about really like connecting these two, the best of two worlds, and build a community and to build an experience that people will love to kind of like join you as part of a journey, that they discover you and they like you, and eventually they will become you know, like your loyal supporters and your customers as well. So yeah, YouTube marketing for businesses is really the start of a series of workshops that I'm going to bring to the table, which later on we're going to make it available on several platforms. I guess I will put it on my YouTube channel as well as on my podcast as well. But you know, the benefit of you guys joining me live here is you get to ask questions and you get to participate, right? There will be a lot of things that we can do together in this room as we are doing this. I really appreciate your time, because this is really the time that you spend time with your family and have some good dinner, but appreciate you joining me, sacrificing all these luxuries and hoping to learn something. And I will make sure that I will give you something valuable that you can walk away by tonight to really, like, you know, even to implement right away on your YouTube channel and start seeing some different outcome coming from it. All right, so I want to really kickstart with a very important statement over here, which is I really hate the idea of starting a YouTube channel. I'm not sure about you, but I was a very, very private person. A lot of people would think, oh, Jason, you are like a super extrovert. You're so natural on camera. Now you see me natural on camera. All right. After I think I've went through, I don't know, man, 300 to 400 live sessions, whether it's live training or going live on my Facebook page or everywhere else in the past 2 years. If you have done this for more than 300 times, then definitely you'll become very natural. And in fact, for tonight's workshop or this sharing itself, I've scripted nothing. There is no script, and I just put up the slide because kind of like it's what is flowing in my mind as a guide, and I don't really have a very guided script to walk me through on what I'm supposed to say on this slide or not, or that slide. So it has become very natural. But back then, I was a person who can't really, I mean, first thing first, I don't think I'm shy. But then again, I think I fear the fact that, I mean, I just worry if I get on stage, I'm not able to really deliver whatever I want to deliver in a very structured way, helping people to understand. So when it comes to YouTube, at that point of time, I was thinking, as a business owner, we should be running the business, not to become the face of the business. Because at that point of time, I was kind of like debating within myself whether I want to be like, you know, the Asia guy, Tony Fernandez, which is at that point of time, he was really famous as being the face of the company. And on the other hand, I've been observing some my mentors of some business owners that have been always running their business at the backstage, and you know, they don't really need to be the face. And I was thinking, do I really need to have a face? But then again, when I first started, really eventually, I realized it's not just about having the face, but it's also about taking a stand about what you stand for, as in really putting up yourself as a person that will lead your customers to the destination that they're hoping to go. So that would work for me at that point of time. And of course, like I mentioned just now, at that point of time, because we were hit badly by pandemic, you probably know the story, right? I kind of moved down from Penang, which is northern part of Malaysia, started a training center, a physical training center in PJ, or in the capital of Malaysia. And I was totally ready to soar. And I was like, okay, now this is the time. It was end of 2019. And then entered 2020, we know what happened. The pandemic hit, and my training center idea really had to scrap, because you just can't do it anymore. And actually, because I just started the rental for 2 years contract, it was dusted. It was really collecting dust there for no reason. And I was like, really, it was a very painful journey. So mid 2020, after the pandemic hit, and after we started lockdown since March of 2020, there was a time where I was really looking for ways to bring my business online, as to pivot my business direction to go digital. It was not easy, but we had to do that, right, for survival. So one of the area that I looked at, one of the platform that I looked at was YouTube. The reason why I started to go on YouTube instead of other channels like Facebook, Instagram, or even LinkedIn, as you probably know, I'm not really active on those platforms, is because YouTube is actually the second largest search engine in the world. And it's owned by the #1 search engine in the world. So basically, for my business, it's very much search intent based, as in, like, if you are looking for a solution to your Facebook advertising challenge or problem, you wouldn't go to Facebook and look for how to solve my CPM problem, how to solve my advertising problem. You wouldn't go to Facebook to do that, on LinkedIn or Instagram, but you will go to Google. And when you search for something on Google, the easiest way to rank high in a very short period of time is to use YouTube videos, because first, Google's indexed YouTube videos, and because they are under the same company, of course, they favor YouTube content over other videos. And yeah, I mean, if you want to really do a quick experiment, just open up a new tab on your browser and search for Facebook ads for Shopee, or Shopee Facebook ads, or Shopee CPass, or any terms like that. Tell me how many of my face you see over there. So that's really how things got started for us. But over the years, as we are actually doing it right now, now I have about 700 over videos for my first YouTube channel. And you just have to imagine, I have 700 over salesperson out there ready to bring me the right people who is really looking for my business or the solution that I'm offering. So that's the whole idea. Okay, so yeah, I just want to really kickstart with how I started YouTube marketing. It was really an accidental success. But then again, after enjoying this benefit for long term, as in like more than almost 2 years now, I really believe that the framework itself can benefit a lot of people who's looking to build a business. So if your business is really based on search intent, as in like your customers would not look for you on social media, instead they will look for you on Google or YouTube, then you have 1,000 reasons to start a YouTube channel, and you must really learn how to start right. That's why, yeah. So yeah, basically for those who have not started a YouTube channel, then probably you have a few questions. Now, the first question, probably, or the first statement that you have in your head would be, well, nobody will look for my niche on YouTube. All right, so you will believe that nobody will look for my niche on YouTube. Let's say, for example, you're probably doing something like, I don't know, man, what would you do? Like, for example, at that point of time, I thought Facebook advertising, or rather my strategy was really Facebook advertising for Shopee as a start at that point of time, because I was positioning myself as an expert in that. I was thinking, would there be people looking for something like that? Okay, so true to be true, after now, it's totally proven that the more niche your topic is, in fact, the more YouTube love you. Simply because only by knowing your niche, or if you know your niche, then you create content that is surrounding your niche, then YouTube would know how to position you, and they will always know how to find you the right people who is looking for your content. So that's the first thing. And I had it proven when I started my second YouTube channel, which is a totally different channel. It's based on a hobby that I have, and it's a very niche, or a very niche hobby, to be frank. I'm into gardening, okay? And I started a YouTube channel about gardening, and I speak Mandarin for that. So it's a Chinese market totally. And when we say Chinese, we're not targeting, we will not get a lot of traffic from China, because they have their own part of the world. So generally, I'm targeting Chinese speaking people, maybe from Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, and a few others. And I was not just talking about gardening, it's to the niche where I was talking about a specific species, which is called alocasia, which is, to be frank, not many people like it, because it's really, really hard to grow. So they always have a lot of problems, and we have some bugs, we have some whatever shit situation that even if you overwater, it will die, and if you don't water it well enough, it will die. It always dies. So that was how I started. But really, I'm going to show you how fast this channel grow, and with very little video I have in the channel right now. To be frank, I think I've just produced over the past 5 months. I've just produced less than 20 videos, and the traffic is already almost on par of my first YouTube channel, and it's just 5 months old. You just have to really look at that. So if the niche is if you really have a niche, okay, you really need to go to YouTube, because YouTube will love you, especially if you have a very, very specific niche. Because trust me, whatever you are specializing in, there must be people looking for your niche in the world out there. So that's something that I want to really assure you, that there must be something. So like Benny, I know that you are actually like, you are eye care specialist, that that you are actually offering something more specific than general optometrist. Do that. The more you talk about your passion or your niche, okay, the easier YouTube is going to find you. And I want to tell you some pro tip. Okay, the pro tip is, if every time you create a high quality view, as in like quality view, as in when a person comes to your YouTube channel, watch a video for X percentage of the video length, which is usually they're looking at a 40% and above, YouTube will understand that, oh, this is the kind of person who will like this video, right? Every one quality view, YouTube is going to bring you 7 more potential quality view. This is how YouTube is going to promote your content. Every one quality view that you get on your YouTube video or your YouTube channel, YouTube is potentially showing your content to 7 more potential quality view. Because trust me, we all talk about how Facebook know us, all right? Because Facebook knows what kind of content we like, how do we browse content, how do we consume content and all that. Now, trust me, Google and YouTube know better, because no matter what it is, we have been consuming, we have been reading, we have been using Gmail, we have been watching video on YouTube and all that. They know what kind of content they were looking for. And most important part is, it is also connected to Google data, which is they know what were we looking for. There's a way that you can actually get very high quality audience to your channel by tapping into the Google search intent. As in, I will be able to really advertise. If you want to use advertise, I can really advertise my video to people who is Googling for, let's say, Facebook advertising analytics or Facebook ads for Shopee, because these two are connected. So that's the power of YouTube if you look at the whole thing. So it's really powerful if you ask me. So yeah, the more specific your niche is, the more powerful it's gonna really, you can reap the power of YouTube. So that's the first thing I really want to get it across, right? And the second thing is, some people will say that the market is saturated, right? I'm too late to the game. Now, this is really something that I would say, if you have this in your mind, trust me, throw it away. It's totally not true. Now, when I first started my YouTube channel in 2020, at that point of time, I was Googling for Facebook advertising channel and all this kind of thing. You know how many results I found? That's more than tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. And the first 20 to 50 channels I found on that search term are at least having a few thousand to hundreds of thousands, a few of them even having millions of followers or subscribers on their YouTube channel. And I was like looking at myself, I said, shit, man, there's so many experts out there. Who am I to have a chance to gain my follower in that way? Because definitely all the topics has been discussed about, and everybody would have given their answer. Why would people want to watch my answer instead? I was thinking that way. Now, if you have this in your mind, you are totally wrong. Because I want to tell you one very important fact about YouTube, which is YouTube is not a race to the bottom market. As in, like, you just have to think about when a person is looking for a solution to their problem. When they go to YouTube and look for how to advertise on Facebook, for example, they will not stop watching one video. And they don't mind watching more videos. And the habit is usually, people will start watching the recommended videos after they finish watching one video. And YouTube is always very good at recommending the next best video. So, and another angle to look at this here is, always when it comes to watching video is we're also looking at your face, listening to your voice, right? I mean, you may not like the first video or the guy who's talking in the first video. You may not like his face, you may not like his voice, but when my video shows up, you probably like my face and you like my voice, and you choose to watch more of my videos, and you probably choose to talk to me and get my solution or something like that. So it's not a race to the bottom. And in fact, audience on YouTube are very unique as compared to Facebook, Instagram, and all. Audience on YouTube are very sticky, and they can really spend a lot of time diving deeper and deeper, because that's how the habit goes. It's totally different from the video consumption behavior on Facebook and Instagram and other platforms. So if there is no such thing as saturated market, because it's not a race to the bottom market, you always have a chance. You just need to bring the uniqueness of you to the market. I think that's the whole idea. So don't worry about that. You always you are not too late to the game. All right. So the next thing here is, I know this is happening in a lot of people's head. I will run out of topics real soon. Okay, because you have this idea, because you are only planning to do one video for each topic. All right, and that's wrong. Like I said, I asked you to go search for Google for Facebook ads for Shopee. Now look at the result, especially in the video result. See how many videos I have talking about Facebook ads for Shopee. Like I said, if a topic is working for your channel, build another 50. Why not? And every time you talk about the same topic on video, you're just giving another way of interpretation to your answer. It's like really sending another so-called soldier to the market and help you connect with the people who is looking for your solution. Because every time, even we talk about the same topic, every time we say it, it's going to be totally different. And the more you say it, the more YouTube understand what you stand for. Remember, we talk about, the more niche you are, the more specific your niche is, okay, the more YouTube love you. And really, to help YouTube understand your niche is to keep saying it, is to keep producing the content, amplifying your niche and what you stand for. So like I said, I have at least 80, if not 100 videos out there talking about Facebook ads for Shopee. And remember, I have 80 to 100 soldiers out there helping me to connect with people who are looking for my solution. That's the idea. So don't worry, okay? One topic, we can do have a lot of videos, but the key here is we want to connect. We want to understand which topic works for us. And that takes a bit of experiment moving forward. So that's the whole idea. All right. Now, some people would say that I'm camera shy and I can't talk well. Now, this is really something that I can't really help you. But then again, what I can assure you is this: you can train and you can always get better. I still can't bear watching at my first video or my first live session. I probably did it in 2016 or 17. I was crap, seriously. I mean, I couldn't watch the video. But then again, over time, you get better. I still remember in 2020, the first time I did my live training, I mean, I was really so nervous. I remember my guy saying I was actually walking around just like so nervous. And I was really very, very, I mean, it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do, but you have to break through that, because to be very frank, in my opinion, the fear of showing up is not as big as the fear of losing the company. I don't want to die. I don't want my business to die. So I would really rather make the breakthrough and be there. But then again, all these can be trained, and it will only get better and better at this thing. But another angle to look at this is, well, I have seen so many YouTube channels out there that are really doing good, making a lot of money without showing your face. So as long as you can talk, as long as you don't mind talking or narrating for the video and do something about it. Now, I actually just started a YouTube channel, repurposing my podcast. So it's just my face with the head there, and then a bit of like the logo of my podcast and the YouTube channel that I created, and a bit of like the wave kind of thing just to really signify that, it's really somebody talking at the back, and I just upload it, and it's working. And people don't mind, because there are a lot of podcasters are doing so. They don't even need to show their faces, just put it up. So as long as You have something to say, my friend. There must be a way for you to say and be there, be out there and tell the world about what you stand for. That's really something very important. All right. So don't worry about camera. You can actually do it without showing your face, but you just have to start. And talking part, you can train. And trust me, worse still, just like what Andrew did as a start, just read from the script. You can script it first. All right. I'm not saying that you got to be like Jason Gunn, having a 1 hour plus workshop like that, unscripted. I mean, you can script it first. It's totally okay. So do it. All right. Now, the other so-called statement or OS that you're probably having in your head is, I don't have time for this. Now, I don't know, man. To me, I don't spend a lot of time on producing my YouTube content. And if you know how to do it, I say there must be a way. So there is a structure. Now, just to give you some idea here is, for my method is I actually use bulk produce, as in like, if I want to really produce for some specific topic, I would really create several videos. I usually set aside maybe like, once a week, every week I will set aside a day or a morning to do the recording, or even to, now actually some of my videos are actually repurposing from my AMA content, my Ask Me Anything Sunday night. All these are things that you can put together, and eventually, right, the moment you know how to organize your work, currently, let me tell you this, I'm spending less than 3 hours a week on my YouTube content. Less than 3 hours a week on my YouTube content. And if you look at my YouTube channel, I post every day. For my Jason Gunn, the Facebook advertising channel, I post every day. But in fact, I'm spending less than 3 hours every week on my content. There is a way that for you to streamline your workload. It's perfectly okay. You just have to kickstart it and know how to structure. I mean, we are all habitual person. Yeah, the moment you build a habit around doing something, it becomes very natural. Yeah, some people ask me, hey, you still produce your own content, or you kind of like edit your own content? Yes, every video that you see on my channel is 100% edited by me. Yeah, so it's possible. Even a person as, I would say, busy as me, I can still do that on my own. So basically, you have no excuse. But what I really want you to think about here is what's really stopping you from starting a YouTube channel. Okay, you just have to probably take a moment to think to yourself, what is really stopping you? Like I said, when we are doing this, remember we are doing this for our business. It's not really, the topic today is not really about building it for your hobby activity. Like I do use the example of my gardening channel later on that I will share with you. But then again, really, if you are doing this for your business, every marketing effort is a necessity. You just have to do it. So whatever that you have in your head that is stopping you from starting, I would say just try, do your best to throw it away and really kickstart. But here's the thing. If you have a framework to follow, if you know how to do it correctly, step by step, with all these guidance in place, it's a lot easier for you to start building the habit in you. So that's the whole idea. All right. So basically, I started in July 2020. So that's the story. July 2020, I started. In fact, prior to that, I was posting on my YouTube channel as well, but I didn't know what to do. I posted a few videos, get crickets, I'm supposed to actually mimic crickets. No views, nothing, and the channel never grew. And I was like, shit, I can't bear the, the feeling of being beaten up by so-called the YouTube engine or YouTube algorithm. I just didn't know what to do with it. But then again, okay, up to now, I can really proudly say that this is a channel that I have right now. I took a screenshot of this a couple of days ago. And at that point of time, I had 5.11K subscribers. Well, at the moment, it's really a slow growing one. If you look at my YouTube channel, if there is a chance, I will show you the analytics at the back end of it. My YouTube channel, 80%, I think 80 to 90% of my views are from non-subscribers. So they are different kind of channel. For my channel, most of those people who watch my video do not subscribe to my channel. That's why the channel growth is really slow. But I don't really care, because you have to understand one very important thing. Okay, running a YouTube channel now at this point of time is not that important for a person to subscribe to your YouTube channel, to see your content anymore. Because YouTube know you so well, all right? If you have watched a video of me or a couple of videos of me, the next time you come back to YouTube, even if you don't subscribe to my channel, you will still see my videos recommended in your YouTube newsfeed, because YouTube know you watch my content, and they know how much time you spend on my content. So if you come to my YouTube channel and you watch almost every video, you watch more than 50%, of course, YouTube know that you love my content, and that wouldn't discount even if you don't subscribe to my channel. So it's perfectly okay. All right. So I have SKNG asking about, what software to edit the video. Now I am still using iMovie. Okay, I have Filmora. Let me get it out. I bought Filmora. I don't know which company. You can actually type Filmora, Filmora. And in fact, I like it. But then again, it was not as easy to use as iMovie. To be very frank, iMovie is so, like foolproof. It's so easy to use. So I've been using iMovie all the time. Okay, and of course, on top of that, I have some cloud-based editing software for me to do if I want to actually do like transcribe or something like that. I'm using wave.video, but there are so many video editing tools out there. You can actually play with it. Okay, and SKNG is asking this question: how to monetize in YouTube? Now, the basic requirement is you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel, and on top of that, your video must have been watched for more than 4,000 hours in the last 12 months time. 1,000 subscribers is actually not hard to achieve. It took me about a year to hit 1,000. I think, no, not a year, about 8 months to 9 months to hit 1,000. My first 1,000 actually happened in 8 to 9 months time. And every subsequent 1,000 only cost me 2 to 3 months. So that's why now I'm 20-month old. This is really, if you count from the time, the time I really get really active doing it, which is from since July 2020 until now, we are about 20 months old, this channel. And yeah, it's kind of like that kind of momentum. All right. So basically, like I said, you don't really need to have a lot of subscribers, but if you want to monetize, that's the threshold. But the 4,000 subscriber is not easy. 4,000 hours is not easy. That's why you need to actually combine several content types in your YouTube channel. Now, I can actually break it down to you a little bit. Of course, we have some elaborated structure or framework to it. Okay, now you need to post good length, as in like most of your videos must be in good length that makes people feel that not too much to watch, which is ideally within 5 minutes. That's my framework, okay? 5 to 10 minutes is actually okay. And then on top of that, you need to produce some long form content. Like what I do is I go live every week on my YouTube channel, twice actually, all right? One is on Wednesday night, which is my 3 show. And on top of that, I have my Sunday night AMA answering questions. But that's not a must do, but if you can, it's definitely gonna help you achieve the 4,000 hours a lot easier. Okay, and Kevin is asking, you notice my personality is very strong in my video. Always see me. Can we do without putting ourselves in the video? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Kevin, you're absolutely right. You can do videos without showing your face. But at least you must be willing to talk, to speak, to narrate for the video. Yes, there are videos. And in fact, like I mentioned, I started another YouTube channel only with videos without face, which is only the voice, my voice, which is I'm repurposing my my podcast onto a YouTube channel. So that is already seeing some tractions coming in. In fact, it can work because Facebook, YouTube do not need your face. They only need, as long as you speak in your video, they will be able to index your content. And that is a very important thing. So that's the whole idea. Kevin, hope I answered your question. So even a slow growing channel like this, okay, that I started about 20 months ago, only 5,000 subscribers, but I want to really tell you what this YouTube channel brought me in 2021 alone. This YouTube channel brought me a few things in 2021 alone, okay? First thing, it actually got me, my website, the traffic to my website, okay? One of the traffic source is YouTube, right? Which is the referral traffic in your website. If you have Google Analytics, you should be able to go in and under the median sources, you should be able to see where your traffic coming from. And the YouTube referral traffic grew by more than 890%. 890%. That's about close to 900% in 2021 alone, compared to the time before I started really actively building my YouTube channel. So with just 1 year work, okay, really you grow this kind of crazy number. I don't mind putting the work. And you may be asking, Jason, you post every day. Of course, you are able to do that now. Yes, I post every day, but let me show you another channel of mine, which I'm going to do that later on. Now, if you're listening to the podcast, if you want to see all these numbers coming in, you can actually go to watch the YouTube channel, which I already put the link in the description as well. So YouTube the traffic that I get from YouTube, from my YouTube channel, grew by 900%. And the overall traffic, okay, my organic traffic to my website grew by more than 300%. Now you were saying that, okay, now there will be some coming from YouTube. What about the rest? In fact, these 300%, only half of them were from actually YouTube. Another half of them is from what? Branded search. You know what is branded search? That kind of search that nobody can fight you. Okay, instead of fighting for key terms like Facebook ads course, Facebook advertising coach. Okay, the searches looking for Jason Gunn or Tribe Up Academy grew by, I don't know how many percent, I didn't track that. So you know why? Because when a person watch my video, they will either like the idea I have or don't like the idea I have, right? So eventually for those people who like me, they will go ahead and go to YouTube, go to Google and Google Jason Gunn or Tribe Up Academy. That's how a lot of traffic, all these are high quality traffic, if you ask me, because these are the people who are already looking for Jason Gunn. They don't want anyone else already. They are no longer looking for generic Facebook ads course and all that. They are looking for Jason Gunn. This is the kind of quality of content, so-called the quality traffic that you want to build or to bring to your website. It's very powerful. This is really one of the greatest breakthrough I've ever had. Even though I have been doing digital marketing for the past now about 16 years now, it's really the biggest breakthrough I've ever seen. Okay, it's really crazy, and all happened within a year time. It's really powerful. All right, and the best part of it is, of course, I'm not bragging, but seriously, this is really direct and indirect revenue combined. Now, direct revenue will be really the advertising revenue generated from my YouTube videos. That one, to be frank, if you look at it, is actually less than 5%. 95% of these revenue that I get through my YouTube channel is really when after a person watch a video, they click on the link and go to my website and purchase some courses or eventually sign up to my coaching program. That's how things really work. I'm not sure, among you, that watching or even listening to this or watching the replay, how many of you actually found me through YouTube first? And then because you already watched some of my YouTube videos, the moment you come to me, there is no longer doubt in you. You already kind of buy into me. That's the beauty of YouTube, because like I said, the more content you produce, the more salesperson or sales troops that you create in the market, and they are working for you relentlessly over the clock, 24/7, non-stop. And the most beautiful part is this, okay? And before 2020, 100% of my, I would say maybe 99%, I had some clients coming from Hong Kong, like Singapore, Indonesia, okay? Back then, before 2020, prior to the COVID situation. Now, after COVID, my students now come from 30 over countries from all around the world. And the other day, I was just having a coaching call with somebody from Iraq, and he doesn't speak English. And I couldn't speak Arabic, you see. So the whole 1 hour coaching session was really conducted via Google Translate. Okay, I open up my Google Translate and share my screen, and I type in English, and he will read the Arabic, and on his side, he will type in Arabic using Google Translate, and he will copy the English translation and put it into the chat, and that's how we conduct the Zoom session. I mean, it's insane. I've never thought about this. I never thought this would happen prior to this, but because of YouTube, I really get to work with so many interesting people from all around the world, and it's really a beautiful experience. So if your business doesn't really have this so-called geographical boundary, YouTube is going to jumpstart your business in a very, very different way that you probably can never really imagine right now. And this is the number that we get in 2021 alone. And remember, the numbers grows continuously. Until now, even really like we just finished the first quarter of 2022, YouTube actually continues to grow. And then although it's still, I mean, my channel, remember, my channel is not a fast growing channel. It's very steady. If you look at the chart over 3 months, it's probably pretty flat. Slightly growth a little bit, but pretty flat. But if you look at it over 20 months, it's really like a very steady, but slow, but steady growth. But seriously, that's what we want, isn't it? I mean, we want something that has momentum instead of, because of some virality, you just hit it and eventually it all goes back to normal and, nothing happened. Business channel, or so-called, if you want to build this YouTube channel for your business, you really want to look at steady, continuous growth. I think that's really something that can definitely happen if you continuously put in the work and build your YouTube channel. So I just want to quickly share with you a few things that I did right. So this is really something that you have to put into consideration when you want to kickstart a YouTube channel. And if you want to really grow your YouTube channel and turn it into a traffic and revenue powerhouse for your business, these are the few things that you probably want to consider, and not to say consider, you must do this. All right, the first thing first is consistency. This is rule number 1. Now, you can't just post a few videos and stop for a few weeks and come back, post for a few days and stop for a few weeks. Okay, YouTube don't like that. They need consistency because they want to have certainty about, when they bring people to your channel, they are not bringing people to a ghost town. So you need to show consistency. Now, in fact, if you want to really jumpstart the whole thing, what I will usually do is when I create content, I will bulk create. So you just, like I said, you can spend a day creating content. In fact, the content can be very similar. You just need to keep talking to the camera, or even just narrating it over your voiceover or something like that. You need to create several pieces of videos first before you launch your YouTube channel. I would suggest if you can at least have 5 to 6 videos ahead before you launch. And when you launch it, post 1 video at a time. You don't really need to go like me, that I post daily. You can go weekly. Weekly is perfectly fine, in fact. So if you look at it, there's only 52 videos you need to create in a year, and it's perfectly okay. And when you are lazy, you can do something like me. I have my live sessions, which is also considered as a piece of content. So it's fine. So if you have 1 video a week, if you can do it, you don't need to be long. You just need to have about 5 to 10 minutes video length, which is good length. And then if you can go live once a week, answering questions from your audience and from your community, YouTube will love you. Really, YouTube will love you. But consistency is really the key. You need to really ensure YouTube that you are a real channel that is committed. And the more committed you are, the more YouTube will love you, and the more people they will bring to your YouTube channel. It's really powerful. Okay. And of course, when you are creating video, you need to learn how to optimize your title and descriptions. You can actually go Google, and there are a lot of videos talking about, how can you optimize your YouTube description and YouTube title and YouTube description, which is because it's actually pretty similar to SEO. Okay. These two things are really important. And on top of that, your thumbnail as well. So these 3 things, different school of thought, there are different so-called methodologies, but I think all of them are teaching the right thing, which is you need to find a way to get the right people to click, which is the hook first. And then after that, you must really connect your title to the search intent. That's why you can actually go to YouTube and look for some videos talking about some, like keyword research methods and all that. There are a lot, and I would say most of them are useful. You just have to find the one that works for you. Now, for mine, I have a method that is what I call the intent-based keyword research method, because in my opinion, a lot of so-called mentors or so-called YouTube experts out there, they're always advocating about creating video matching viewers' intent. So viewers' intent is definitely important because that's what they are looking for. But in my opinion, I take the step further, which is I look at we must be creating videos that connects the viewer's intent as well as connecting with our intent, which is the creator's intent. Only by matching these 2 intents together, every video you create will become a salesperson for your business. Instead of just creating content, people watch it and they still love it and like you, then off they go. They will not look further and look at what have you got to offer. So every video must be structured, and every piece of content that you put out, the more you are able to create a content that matches the viewer's intent and together with your creator's intent, you know, the more successful your YouTube is going to become. Because remember, the advertising revenue is very minimal. It's less than 5% at the moment. 95% of the revenue that are generated through YouTube is really connecting these two intents together and bringing the right people who wants to buy things from me. That's the whole idea. If not, why am I creating all these videos if I'm not trying to get customers for my business? I mean, right? So that's very important. So that's my method. But of course, you can start looking at other people's method first. All right. And eventually, the next thing that I think that is really important is you must have very clear call to actions about what you want them to do. Okay. Every video must carry an ask. Now, some people will say that you give, then ask. I would say no. When you're doing video for your YouTube channel, give and ask. Every video, it's a balance. I mean, people are already expecting to see something that you are offering eventually. As long as you give value in the video itself, you really solve their problem. They don't mind to hear your ask. And some of them will take the action, and eventually that's how the revenue can start coming in to your YouTube channel. All right. So call to action, and some people will say that do the call to action towards the end of it, but I actually sprinkle my call to actions around in several places. And you can ask for a few things in the YouTube channel. I mean, in every YouTube video, so you can do a lot different asks, which make it a little bit more dynamic as well, which is something that we do in our framework, as in like the structure. The way we structure our content is to have multiple asks in the video itself. All right. And the most important thing is, of course, you need to have solid offers. Of course, we're here, we are doing business, right? I mean, when we are creating content, there must be something that we are looking for in return. And you must know what are you offering. So if you are, let's say if your business is really something new that you do not know what to offer, I would say probably start working on that first, because it's really important to know what you're offering, because without that, it will be very difficult to match the viewer's intent with the creator's intent. Remember, these two things has to really work together. The viewer's intent and the creator's intent must work together. All right. So yeah, what do you think? Do you think this is my channel? You know, I want to bring it back. You know, 5,000 subscribers, 700 over, close to 760 over videos right now. My question is, do you think this is a successful channel? Do you think this is a successful channel? Well, let me answer you on behalf. This is actually an under-optimized channel. Kevin say yes, thank you for your kind word. In fact, in my opinion, this is an under-optimized channel, but doesn't matter. Okay, as long as it's doing good, I would say it's not yet successful. It's under-optimized, but it's doing its job. Okay, so that was how I was building my YouTube channel at the very beginning for the first 1 year, because I only started developing a new framework since last year, November. In fact, it started looking at the different way of putting together what I've learned from my first YouTube channel. When I was starting my second YouTube channel, I was really digging deeper and try to find a more different way, a more solid framework to build this channel. In fact, that's how I started to develop a different framework. But I want to really share with you what are the opportunities I missed in, when I was building my first channel. Okay, now the first thing is really when I was building my first channel, I was lacking a lot of platform optimized content. Because remember, when I first started my YouTube channel, all my videos, even though I post daily, right? All my videos are not optimized for really like YouTube. So I don't have a lot of content specifically created for YouTube audience. I was really going live and I was answering questions, and I edit them. Let's say every week I go live for half an hour on my YouTube channel as well as my Facebook group, right? So I'll probably have 5 to 10 questions answered. So I'll just cut those questions into short clips, ranging from 1 minute to 5 minutes each kind of thing. And then I just insert the call to action, at the beginning and at the end of it, I will have an intro and outro. So all the videos are not really optimized. And in fact, I'm now still doing it because, to be frank, I already gained the momentum. And like I said, I don't have time to really work on a lot of content. So to me, it's as long as it's working for me right now, I'm letting it grow. and I'm actually looking at building different content. In fact, I created a series of content. If you look at it, I have a series of content talking about Facebook ads analytics, and that I created 6 videos and I launched it using using the framework, and it's now getting me very good revenue, from all the traffic that we have generated from YouTube. So it's really getting us very healthy revenue stream from that, because we are actually selling different programs using that. But really, the first mistake, I wouldn't say mistake, I didn't really, first I didn't have time because I wanted to post daily, and that's the fastest way I can actually produce my content. So yeah, lack of platform optimized content is one of the things. And then the next thing here is lack of interconnected content. Now, one thing YouTube like if you have content, YouTube likes if your contents are connected one to another, meaning that if a person watch a video and there are certain call to action or some connectiveness to lead people to watch another video and more. So YouTube loves content that keeps the audience in YouTube. You get what I mean? So the longer your content can make people stay on YouTube, the more YouTube will love your content and they will promote your content a lot more. So that's something that needs a bit of planning. So what we do here is, like, say, we bulk create content, right? So in terms of scripting, we will probably, let's say I have 6 points about certain topic. I will break these 6 points into 6 videos. For example, what I'll do is I make it short and crisp enough. And then after that, right, I would mention other video also, I talk about other thing, and other video also I talk about other thing. But of course, the scripting, I already gave you a bit of an idea. You can actually try that. But there is a structure of doing this. Eventually, yeah. So when you're able to create this kind of content, you can actually increase the so-called the time spent on your video, and YouTube will love it. So yeah. And the next most important mistake or so-called opportunities I missed is really this thing. I was not leveraging on the algorithm. Now, what do you mean by not leveraging on the algorithm? Now, I just want to quickly show you the comparison of my channel number 1 and channel number 2. Okay, so this requires a bit zooming. Yeah, I'm just going to show you. This is the screen. This is, I screen captured this from my YouTube studio on my mobile phone. All right. So what I wanted to highlight to you here is this thing. This is my first channel, the Jason Gunn channel talking about Facebook advertising. So as you can see, the highlight here is, this is the 28 days analytics. Okay, so if you look at the views and watch time, let me break it down to you. In the past 28 days, okay, in the past 28 days, I've generated, my channel gotten about 20,000 views, which means people who click and start watching my video, that's 20,000 views. And my videos are watched 642 hours in total. So if you break it down, it's about 690 views per day. And my videos are being watched about 26 hours a day. So if you look at this data, right, you just have to imagine. I don't know how many visitors you get to your website, but this is what I'm getting on my YouTube channel. And these are very high quality audience that I attract using all the videos that I have out there answering very specific questions. So it's very powerful. So this is my first YouTube channel. Okay, just want to quickly highlight to you, this is a 20-month-old YouTube channel. So after working on this channel for 20 months, posted 60 over videos, close to 770 videos, I get this kind of number. Okay, if you ask me, is it good? Well, it's not bad, but is it fantastic? I would say, there's a lot of rooms for improvement. But I want to show you my new channel, which is my gardening channel, and I speak Mandarin, and it's really, I only had about less than 20 videos posted. It's only 5 months old. Let me show you the number. So on the right hand side, if you're listening to the video, if you're listening to the podcast, remember to go back to the video, then look at this. Okay, my new YouTube channel, which is the gardening channel. Okay, in the past 28 days, it has gathered 14,000 views, and the watch time is 569 hours in the last 28 days. If you break it down, okay, it gets us 470 views per day, and my videos are being watched 19 hours per day. So this is a 5-month-old channel. 5-month-old channel with only 20 videos, I'm already getting this number. In another 2 months down the road, it will definitely beat my first channel in terms of number of views every month and watch time we generate every month. So the way I look at it, right, this channel will be monetized in 2 months' time. In 2 months' time, I'll be able to make money from this. And the way I look at it, I am going to make more money from YouTube ads compared to my first channel, because my first channel, well, because of the content and all this kind of thing, and I do believe that my second channel, when they start making money from YouTube ads, it will make a lot more money. I would say, judging from it, right, by end of this year, you know, as we are making this video, we will probably make about 2 times what my first channel is making. So that's kind of the thing. So I just want to quickly share with you what I did differently. Okay, what I did differently is, first thing first, I learned how to do deeper keyword research, tapping on the intent. Remember I mentioned about connecting user intent, our viewers intent, and the creator's intent. And you may be asking, oh, Jason, what's the plan for your gardening YouTube channel? All right, now my gardening YouTube channel will actually become my second revenue, not just from the advertising itself, but I'm positioning myself as a gardening expert, and I am already getting inquiry for me to have a Zoom call checking their plant, which is like what's the problem that their plant is having and how to treat that and all that. Even though I'm only started, I actually just started gardening, and my greatest experience is to kill plants. I'm really good at killing plants. I kill so many of them. But people already look at me as an expert because of my videos, and they're already looking for a solution, or rather a service for me to review their plant condition and to give them suggestions. So in no time, it probably will happen by this year itself, I am going to become, I don't know, it sounds a bit funny to say that I'm going to become a gardening expert, and I'm going to make money charging people by hour to look at their plant and give them some recommendations on what to do. So if you look at it, everything I do is actually to plan for my extra stream of revenue. So yeah, so that's how it can do. So I mean, just thinking out loud, of course, today we are talking about building this for your business, but this could be your side hustle. This could be a lot of things that you can do, in fact. All right. So yeah, so that's something that is totally possible, but really you need to start learning how to do deeper keyword research, tapping into intent and connecting these two intents together. And of course, if you follow the framework, you must know what you want to offer. You may not have it now. Like for my gardening channel, I don't have this offer for my, let's say, my half an hour one-on-one plant audit, which is very similar to my Facebook ads audit, right? I can do half an hour plant audit for maybe like $97. Why not? Right? But I already had that in mind when I started the channel. So I know this is the offer that I'm going to do. So basically, when I'm creating my content, although now I'm not asking the ask right now, I know eventually how am I supposed to connect. Eventually, it gives me the guiding, the so-called very clear direction on how do I create my content at the very beginning. So that's a very important thing. Okay. And of course, the next thing is about, you need to learn how to structure your content with multiple CTAs. So there are, like I say, there are different gurus out there or different experts out there, YouTube experts. You can actually, if you go and search for optimized YouTube videos and all that, there are thousands of videos out there. But basically, my methodology is we want to have multiple CTAs in the video itself. So it's either getting people to subscribe, that's one thing, and getting people to take the next step. If you already have the offer, then that will be awesome. And and in the content description, in the description itself, you can actually sprinkle. So you can start looking at my video at the moment to actually start looking at the whole structure a little bit. But yeah, there is a structure, and you should be able to create content that has very long longevity, as in like it can last for a long time. And as long as YouTube still exists, it will still become an army for you or a soldier to help you make money. Like at the moment, I still have videos that I posted about 2 years ago in 2020 that is still making us money up to today. It's really powerful. So that's how it works. All right. So structured content with multiple CTA is one thing. And then of course you need to actually, do a bit of the comprehensive back-end content structure. Now, when I say back-end content structure, is really you have to be able to connect one video to another. And you want to build this kind of connectivity so that people will start watching video and after another video and after another, and YouTube loves this kind of activity. And when you are able to keep your audience watching more video on your channel or maybe other people's channel, YouTube will promote your video a lot more heavily. So what I really want to highlight here is, in fact, how could I grow my second YouTube channel so fast? Okay, it's actually because I cracked YouTube recommendation algorithm. I cracked YouTube recommendation algorithm. What do I mean? Now, I just want to quickly show you the comparison of two channels. On the left-hand side is my Facebook ads channel, and the right-hand side is my gardening channel. Now, if you pay attention to it, right, my Facebook ads channel generated 134,000 impressions in the last 28 days. 134,000 impressions in the last 28 days. And if you read carefully, 18% was from YouTube recommendation. 18%. Now, if you ask me, it is really something, this is already something very, very, it's awesome to a lot of channels if you compare to a lot of channels already, because this really shows that YouTube is recommending my video to people. And that also shows that YouTube knows your content and they know your audience, so this is really the best situation. But if you look at my second channel on the right hand side, okay, which is my gardening channel, I've gathered 117,000 impressions. I mean, if you look at this comparison, my first channel had 134,000 and second one has 117,000. Well, the gap is less than 10%, 15% now. So that's why I say in no time, my gardening channel is going to beat my first channel. And the best part is, if you look at this, right, 51.9% of the impressions are actually from YouTube recommendations. You know what does that mean? More than half of my exposure on YouTube channel is actually because YouTube put my video on the homepage, on the recommended section. After you watch the video, on the right hand side, the recommended videos and the up next videos. That shows how much YouTube liked my content for my second channel. So I only dare to come out and talk about YouTube marketing after I have the second channel, the success of the second channel, because to me, my first channel was really not something to shout about. The growth was not really significant, and it's very slow growing, although it's growing, but it's slow. But and the numbers are always kind of like that, the number of impressions, then and the percentage of YouTube recommending. But when the second channel started to see some crazy results, then I know I'm onto something. And that's why I want to put together something to help more people like you to really jumpstart your YouTube channel. The reason why I love YouTube so much is because, in fact, if you look at it, moving forward, we will be entering the era of Web 3, as in 3.0. Now, Web 3 requires marketers to do more things, because first thing first, the consumers are getting smarter. Okay, definitely, right? Because of the pandemic, we call this the accelerated digital evolution. Even my dad starts buying things from Shopee. You know how fast things change. Okay, basically, consumers have changed. They will be looking for more things. Now, the other day, I was having some client asking me, one of my coaching clients asked me, Jason, how am I supposed to nail the mature group of consumers, like those people who are 40 and above? And, because these are the people with money, but they are very difficult to tackle. They seems to be not on Facebook and other social media. Then I told her one thing. They are on social media, like people like me. I'm already in that age group already. I am on Facebook, I am on Instagram, but I'm very conscious about taking action on social media right now. And here's the thing, I told her, when I see an advertisement, very likely I won't click on the ad. But what I will do is I will go to Google you. Now, when I Google you, what do you show in the first page makes a lot of difference. And yes, you say that, okay, now my website is ranked up there. Now, if you are a big brand, then yes, but for smaller brands, the question here is, I think your website may not be there if people even look for your name or look for your company name. So when this kind of situation happens, how can you make sure you dominate the search result and be there when people are looking for you? In fact, the easiest way is to do YouTube marketing, because when you are able to build strong presence surrounding your brand name or even your own personal brand name, YouTube will know
what to surface when people are looking for you. So this is how you can actually train. And I say, as you can see, you can do this within months. It's a 5-month-old channel for my gardening channel, but in fact, I started to see tractions in less than 3 months. In fact, if you do it, it's following the structure that I have right now, I believe you can see some traction even within a month. It's totally possible. So just want to quickly share with you what's the game plan. Okay, like I say, I've been working on a framework. You see, I'm the kind of person whenever I start something, when I do some experiment, I would document every steps I take. And eventually by doing so, I would know what I have done right or wrong. And then it's actually very similar to my way of interpreting Facebook ads numbers and metrics, because I always believe the numbers won't lie. So when I document my process in this way, I always put them together into frameworks. So I actually put together this thing called the YouTube Jumpstart framework. So this is a framework that will allow you to jumpstart your YouTube channel in a matter of weeks. So here's what you need to do. First thing first, you must have a very solid niche to focus on. So if you are already in business and you are actually you are a specialist in something, that's definitely the best situation. But if you don't, then probably you need to start looking at what are you going to offer, or what is the niche that you are going to position yourself as an expert in, right? And then all we need to do is to work together to build 5 keyword optimized, well scripted videos in 4 weeks. When you have these 5 videos, when we work together on these 5 videos, the first thing you will get is you will learn how to do video using the framework. You will be able to connect these videos together. This is really the way we structure the content. And we will launch these videos together. And then eventually we will observe from the analytics, and we will learn how to actually spin off more from all these the numbers or the results that we have gotten. So of course, when you're creating video, remember, it's always about connecting the viewer's intent to the creator's intent. That's why you need to have one key offer. This is really the most important thing. If you don't have offer, this is not for you. But if you already know what you are offering, this is really something. And of course, I never say, yes, I started my first channel without spending a dime. But when I started my second channel, I actually started running ads. And I'm not asking you to spend a lot. I'm not only asking you to spend at least 25 cents US dollar. In fact, if you translate into Ringgit Malaysia, I actually spent for my first channel, for my second channel, when I first started it, I think I spent 2 ringgit a day for a month. That's it. Just to kickstart the algorithm. Yeah, that's a trick. You can actually kickstart the algorithm, kickstart the YouTube. Kickstart to make YouTube realize you are there, and to make YouTube pick up information about your YouTube channel and your videos fast enough. And eventually, when that jumpstart happened, I stopped. I only spent for a month. I think it's about a month, and that kickstart is really important. All we need to do is to spend as low as 25 US cents, 1 ringgit per channel. That's the minimum. If you want to spend 5, I don't mind. I'm just saying that minimum 25 cents US dollar, 1 ringgit. And if you can do this for 30 days, you can definitely have your YouTube channel jump started. So what are we using this budget for? We are going to advertise to people who are searching for specific key terms on Google and YouTube. And my advertisement is not to do the 15-second, like skippable advertisement at the front. No, I hate that kind of advertisement as much as you do. So my videos are very naturally positioned within the newsfeed. So you browse, halfway through, you will see a very related video related to your search recently. If you look for Facebook advertising analytics, my video will surface. So that makes it a lot more likely that you will click into it, because already you had the search intent. You were looking for a solution. So that's how you will naturally take the next step. And currently, for my first channel, I'm spending about 2 ringgit a day. All right. And it's about 2 ringgit a day. 2 ringgit, I think, yes, correct. And it's generating me about $30 to $50 every day. I don't know what is the return on advertising spend right now. Yeah. So at least one person will sign up to my the Facebook ads for Shopee course every day on average. And out of which some people will sign up to my coaching program. and etc. etc. So on average, I'm making about $30 to $50 every day by spending about 2 to 3 ringgit. I think less than $1. So yeah, the ROAS is quite interesting. So this is really something that can really change YouTube marketing for a lot of businesses. Because we are all business people, that's why I dare to talk about advertising. Because it's really about advertising. I'm still a believer of advertising, but when we go to YouTube, when we are able to combine organic and advertising together, then we are able to create something very powerful in a very short period of time. So that's the whole idea. All right. So if you are interested to do this, okay, I am taking 3 clients to my YouTube Jumpstart Academy. Now, I used to do YouTube Jumpstart Academy in a group coaching format, but now for this round, I'm changing it to one-to-one. It's a one-on-one coaching. Okay, so the YouTube Jumpstart Academy is now a 4-week one-on-one coaching program. As in, like, I will work with you one-on-one. So, you know, it's just me and you. For 4 weeks, we're gonna meet at least once a week. Okay, and you'll be given lessons. I will give you 6 video lessons. These are all recorded, and you can have lifetime access to all this. So I'll probably give you 1 to 2 videos every week. You will need to watch the video, and you will be given homework. You will need to do the homework. And once you watch it and do your homework, and every week when it comes to the coaching call, you can ask me any questions, and I will look at your progress, and I will check on your progress. I will keep track on your progress. So it's really me working with you to jumpstart your YouTube channel one-on-one. That's why I can only take 6 clients this round. I mean, sorry, 3 clients. We used to take 6. Now only 3 clients because I'm experimenting still. Okay, but this time one-on-one. That's why I can have full attention on you to work on your case to really help you jumpstart. So there will be weekly coaching sessions via Zoom. Okay, and you will keep the recording. So everything is yours. Okay, you can all come back. So within these 4 weeks time, you have email support from me. Okay, so you're probably curious about the 6 lessons that we will talk about. So the first lesson is about this. Lesson number 1, already we will come in and look at how do we do keyword research. This lesson itself is going to help you generate at least 20 to 50 keyword ideas. That is connecting the viewer's intent together with your creator's intent. So that's the first lesson. And then after that, the second lesson is about constructing the YouTube channel. You need to get your channel right. How do you structure your channel, and how do you actually make sure that all the settings in the channel is done right? So that's what we're going to do on the second lesson. And then on third lesson, I will share with you how to build the content using my content creation framework. And then after that, on the 4th week, I mean, this is the 4th lesson. Usually this will happen on the 2nd week. Entering the 3rd week already, we must have all the videos ready, and we will launch the videos together. All right. So we will launch the video at the same time. We're going to run YouTube advertising as well. This is going to happen in the 4th lesson. Launching the video, meaning you will launch the video and you will launch the advertisement as well. And the 4th lesson will talk about YouTube analytics, which is something that I'm very good at. My analytics, you know, is really something that I specialize in. And now the 6th one is to understand the next steps. So I'll give you some structure about how you can repurpose your content, and then kind of like how do you do more content on the fly, more organic way and stuff like that. So these are all the things that I've been doing, and I will share with you how to build your own so-called, you know, elements. You don't need to do everything that I do, but you just need to put together your own method or your own structure that you are very comfortable about, so that you can actually have the momentum to go long term. So, I mean, eventually, when it comes to this point of time, you know, I think you probably would know that advertising is good, okay, but it's no longer enough. Like I mentioned just now, a lot of people, when they see an ad like me, I probably won't click on the advertisement. I will start Googling you. If I don't see any presence of you, then probably you are too new to gain my attention. Or probably you are too, well, maybe too new or not good enough for me to take action on you. So you have to make sure you build a journey. Really, it's about building a journey for your customers to find you. That's really something that I have been getting in the past few months, you know, more than a year now. A lot of people actually, they see my ad and the first time they don't connect, you know, they don't come to my webinar and all that. They just quietly check me out and they found my YouTube, they follow me, and then eventually they came back. So that's how things can happen to you as well. But then again, you may be saying that, oh, it's not everyone is going to do that. But here's what I argue. Customers are getting smarter and smarter, you know, and eventually they will definitely know that this is an ad and they will definitely look for, I mean, the expectation is going to raise, right? They will get higher and higher expectation on the people that they choose to work with. If you're looking for solution, now you know that everything is in your fingertip right now. You can get the better options or the better offers out there. Why would I want to come with you? You must have something convincing for me to choose you instead of other people out there. So what are you doing in order to help your audience find you? So how people find you beyond advertising is the next thing you have to think about. You see, like if you're in real estate, there are so many real estate agents out there. If you are an optometrist, there are so many out there. Why would I want to choose to go with you? Sometimes you need to let your audience build an impression about you in their head. So in order to do that, you need to start building presence. I mean, if you talk about Web3, right? I always talk about Web3 marketing. In fact, Web3 marketing is going to make marketers' life a lot harder, if you ask me, if you're not ready for this. Because as the consumer gets smarter, the expectation gets higher, and eventually they also know that they can easily find the best people in the industry if they're looking for any solution right now, because it's really the zero moment of truth. Everybody can just close Facebook and go into Google or go into Chrome within seconds and start looking for the next best option right now. So for your case here is this: if you want to stay in the game, it's really about building your voice. So how do you start building your voice? If you ask me, it is definitely not on Facebook or Instagram. I mean, maybe LinkedIn, but I'm not sure. Because why? These social networks are not highly indexed on Google. And especially for my business, I'm not sure about you, you can think about this. Would people look for you on Facebook or Instagram? Or rather, would people look for you, look for information about your business on Google or YouTube? So that's the questions you have to answer yourself, basically. But think about this, okay? The other presence that you need to build must be able to help you go long term. And in my opinion, YouTube is the most stable one. It's not like Facebook, they always change algorithm. YouTube have been around even longer than Facebook right now. And in fact, in the past many years, they have not changed because they are not a social network. They are a content network. So it's really a place where people are looking for answers, and they're also a search engine. So the optimization direction is really to help more people find you. So it's not like Facebook, they want content that they like in a way, or Instagram, if you get more engagement, that is good. But YouTube is not just engagement. You need to have good quality view time and all that. Only they will start surfacing more of you on their platform. So that's the whole thing you have to start looking into. So YouTube is a long-term traffic powerhouse that you can build for your business. And if you look at Web3, I would say there are other things as well, like you should also consider starting a podcast, but we can talk about this in the next workshop. But then again, now, if you really want to do it, you should start considering really jumpstarting your YouTube channel. And I'm inviting you to look at this. As usual, you can't buy this, okay? You have to apply, and really don't apply if you're not ready to do this. But if you're ready to do this, I'm committed to walk this journey with you. And I really want to work with you to really jumpstart your YouTube channel in a matter of weeks. And you need to, within these few weeks, I need your full commitment. If not, don't come in. And you may wait for the next round whenever you are ready. But then again, I do not know when I might opening this again. So if you are interested, if this is something that you're looking for, I'm only looking for 3 clients for this round of experiment. The whole framework is already solid. I just want to find a better way for me to work with you to optimize the outcome. That's the reason why we changed this round into a one-on-one. So if you're ready for this, okay, this is the QR code that you can scan and apply. All right, if you're listening to the podcast, there will be a link in the description that you can actually click on it and apply. And eventually, whenever you're ready, once you apply, remember, there will always be a calendar. Choose your time and date, and let's have a chat. So we will understand your situation, we will understand your business, and we will understand your direction. If we are good match, if you're a good fit to work together, then I will offer you to join the program. If you're not, then I would say within this quick 30 minutes discussion, I make sure you walk away with some valuable learning that probably you can start doing on your own to kickstart your YouTube channel. So with that, I think that wraps what we have today. I hope you learned something. Let me know. Do you? At least I hope it gives you some direction in terms of how to really structure your YouTube presence. To be frank, you don't come in mainly for the ads revenue. Okay, it's not really something that, it's not a lot, but to be frank, for my channel, I'm making quite a not bad revenue every month. But I also heard a lot of people with even bigger followings, they are actually making only very little money. It's not even sustainable for them to go full time on that. So yeah, I mean, go beyond that, So we are all businesses. It's all about building something that is more important for us to. We want to do this for long term, and we want to build a long term traffic and revenue powerhouse to our business. That's the whole idea. All right. So I think with that, we will wrap this round. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. And remember, I will do this occasionally. The idea here is at least I'll do it once every 2 months. And this is really exclusively to my, my community. So watch out to my emails and watch out to my announcement on my podcast and everywhere else. If you like the next topic, then come and join me. But nonetheless, I hope this is valuable to you. And remember, if you're listening to the podcast, remember to rate, review, and subscribe if you're watching the video on YouTube as well. And yeah, recommend this video or podcast to anyone that you might find this useful. And if you're watching with me live over here, like all of you, share this to your friends because it's going to come up on the, on everywhere. Let them listen and watch this as well. I mean, the whole idea here is I'm just hoping to help more people understand the importance of this and probably learn something from my past experience building 2 YouTube channels. And that wraps this round. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight.